Hello there guys and welcome back to the channel. Right, so a few months ago I did finally end up putting together a tier list, and I did it a bit begrudgingly because I do personally believe these tier lists do often get misused. Therefore, we do have three very big disclaimers at the very top. This list is a mixture of my personal view of the game and current game relevance and trends. Please do not use this list as a point of argument, but more as a food for thought. Each summoner has different needs and preferences that far outweigh the importance of this list. Please rank champions that will help you get where you are trying to get, not blindly follow these type of lists. And one of the best explanations and kind of like questions back that I come up with recently is when people ask me, is that champion worth rank 3? Or should I rank up this champion or that champion? I always simply ask a very quick question. For what? Why? Like, is Captain Marvel worth taking up to rank 3? For what? What do you plan to do with that champion? And when you do these major rank up decisions, you should have a relatively clear answer why you are doing what you are doing, why you are committing to this character. If you're doing it just because somebody looks at that champion because they are like highly on some sort of list, don't do it. Play with that champion, figure out what the champion's good for, what the champion's bad for, what is your plan with the champion, and then rank those champions up. If you're ranking up for prestige, then be honest with yourself. I'm ranking him up because he has high prestige. If you're ranking something up because you need more help with Alliance Quest or Alliance War, be honest with yourself. I'm ranking this champion up primarily because right now I need help in Alliance Quest. So on and so forth. That is always more important. Making rank up decisions based on your current goals, needs, and shortcomings is the way to go in this game. On top of that, add some rank ups for fun, because this is game, obviously, and we're all playing it ultimately to enjoy ourselves. But now let's talk about some changes that I have done to the list, and there are actually quite a few, obviously, because we have had several champions released, and I have moved some champions in the rankings, and then we have some buffs to talk about. But there's also a very important rule that I must remind. No new champion can immediately move to top of the game or meta. I am making a slight exception in case of Hercules because I already have seen a ton of what the champion can do, has been doing, and he already has a major presence. And I myself, at this point, I'm confident of his capabilities, and he's actually like growing on me more and more day by day. And I have absolutely no doubt that next time I update that list, I'm going to put him at top of the game if he carries on performing as the way he is. The only reason he's not up there right now is because he's as new, and I just want to see like when Alliance War season starts, when new content comes out, 7.3 or something else. Because let's face it, Hercules has been crushing a lot of Summer of Pain fights and plenty of other things. So if he continues to perform remotely as well as he has so far, he's going up there in absolutely no time. I do look at Corvus Glaive and Hercules right now as the best two cosmic champions in the game. I did move down Venom slightly, not because I liked him any less, and not because everybody was screaming at me that he's no better than Cosmic Ghost Rider. Simply that I did feel that he's perhaps lagging behind most of the champions in here a bit, and that he doesn't have as wide of a use. Also, that makes it more consistent with the ranking of Venom Pool, where I mark him down in the useful category for now. So Venom did get a little demotion, but it's not necessarily a reflection of Venom itself, it's just a reflection of current events in game, and that there hasn't been overly significant need for him right now, even though I do believe that Venom is still absolutely a magnificent champion. It's just I decided to trim down the top of the game list for now. Right, so with Mutant class, we have another demotion, and that's Omega Red. And again, Omega Red is still amazing champion. Still a very, very great champion. And Omega Red's downfall is some of what is also his kind of claim to fame, that he's just so different from most of the mutant champions. He doesn't do prowess, he doesn't do massive special attack damage, he doesn't really have many of the mutant common characteristics. And in plenty of cases, that is a strength. Unfortunately, with the latter node design, it doesn't really benefit most of the mutant support nodes. Even as simple of an example as we can say with KT1. Now, KT1 by no means is the main ranking factor, but the nodes themselves there will serve to kind of like highlight my point. That Omega Red's spore damage, for instance, does not scale with modified Furies. So he's relatively unremarkable when it comes even in that quest in particular. But in general, I have noticed a significant decline in overall use of Omega Red compared to Archangel, Apocalypse, Professor X, Cable, and a bunch of other champions. So Omega Red, for now, is going to be taking a little bit of a step back. When it comes to Mystic class, in the top of the top tier, there has been no significant change. Neither there has been one with Science class. With Skill class, there's an addition of Kingpin. My opinion of Kingpin, once again, is slowly but surely growing. I see more and more Kingpin being present in all sorts of areas in game. Be that Alliance War, be that Alliance Quest, be that destroying general quests and good for KT1. Basically, pretty much name a game mode and he's going to be quite good for it, including incursions with his super high sustainability. So, again, my opinion of Kingpin continues to rise, and I believe that nobody can deny that his presence in the top of the game tiers is increasing. In general, right now, since I have made a tier list, it has been very hard to judge the game tendencies, primarily because we have not had any major piece of content come out aside from these, summer pains and things like that. Because we haven't gotten 7.3 yet, there haven't been no new variants, and in general, there hasn't been that much happening aside from like Summer of Pain fights. But Summer of Pain fights are also extremely specific, and in total, there's only 9 of them. It's not like it's a full quest where we have like much better judgment of which champions are like, performing or underperforming. I think that's too narrow of a lens to look through. So here I touched the meta side, where I believe currently is Hercules, who is soon set to move up to the top of the game, should he continue to do the things that he's doing. Captain Marvel actually, in my opinion, might be slipping down from meta to useful and be replaced by King Groot and Angela, because I do believe that Angela is slowly but surely kind of maintaining her relevance and increasing her presence overall with every month. There are more people taking her up. And King Groot is, again, a super fresh buff. I do believe that he will easily make it all the way up there to the meta, but I just want to give it a bit more time. And I do believe that, yes, Captain Marvel will soon be phased out by Angela and King Groot on my list and my rankings. And again, Venompool is a newly buffed champion. I do think he's a great champion. I do think he's a fantastic alternative for Venom. But I also think that if you do have Venom, then for most part you don't really have much need of Venompool. As for the things that you would use Venom, or you would need that his abilities, you're gonna be better off using Venom. Venompool definitely can take can take over in longer fights. But here's the thing: if you're gonna be dealing with the fights that are 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 million health, you're not gonna be using either of those champions. So for anything that's relevant, Alliance Quest, Alliance War, KT1, a whole bunch of stuff like that, I do still believe that Venom's going to be far superior champion and preferred vast majority of the time. Not to mention the fact that a lot of people simply have already ranked up Venom, and they just don't have nowhere near enough incentives to rank up Venompool. And I'm sure that there will be plenty of people who rank up Venompool and who enjoy Venompool and all that stuff. But overall, looking at the grand scheme of things in the game, I just don't think that Venompool is going to come close to beating out Venom for that, spider evade preventing champion. So yeah, in Mutant class there have been no other changes aside from Omega Red. In Mystic class I have added Diablo. Diablo was buffed just after I basically made this list, and he has been increasingly more and more present in more and more game modes. I think the only real kind of downside of Diablo right now, for now, is the fact that he's a champion that really does enjoy Liquid Courage, Double Edge, and Mystic Dispersion. And when it comes to vast majority of the setups that include recoil, they typically don't include Mystic Dispersion, which is kind of one of those things that mastery loadouts just can't get here soon enough. Other than that, I think the guy's an absolute beast now. Superb healing abilities and amazing abilities to nullify, obviously, poison, tons of great things. Not much you wouldn't like about the champion. There haven't been any notable changes in science meta at all. I still have left all the champions exactly where they remain. Skill hasn't changed with the fact that Kingpin moved up, and Ultron has moved up to meta in tech class. I do think that Ultron is, again, slowly but surely increasing its presence. I see more and more people kind of waking up to the fact that Ultron is in fact quite awesome. Yes, he does largely rely on having Hulkbuster synergy, but Hulkbuster itself is a very good champion, and even without Hulkbuster synergy, he's still a relatively hard-hitting champion that has plenty of utility in there, and that a lot of people do enjoy. 1 second, I think I need... Whoops. There we go. Either way, I'll fix that later. Moving down to useful. Do we have any significant changes here aside from addition of King Groot, Hell, and Venomful? Yeah, Hell got promoted from occasionally useful to useful as well because, well, we have seen more of her, and perhaps I was a bit too harsh on her. But there we go. That is the useful tier for now. With mutants, I don't think there has been any significant change aside from moving Bishop from occasionally useful to useful after his buff. I do hope we see more of him. I do think that Bishop's a very intriguing character. Unfortunately, he's also a champion that you ideally want to have relatively high signature level. And when it comes to getting SIGs in mutant class, you do have quite a lot of competition from Omega Red, from Namor, and from a whole bunch of other champions. So that might be a reason why we see him shine a bit later, but not just quite yet. When it comes to mutant class, the Hood is the buff that I immediately moved up to useful. I think that is where he fits. He's quite good Mystic Champion. I don't think he's quite as good as Diablo or Tigra or Sorcerer Supreme, but I do think that he is on the higher end of this useful spectrum, and I do like Hood. I took mine up to rank 2 as well after his buff, and who knows, potentially he might be going up further. When it comes to science, Mr. Negative has moved from occasionally useful to useful tier because Mr. Negative is, again, slowly but surely coming into his own. Unfortunately, he's being significantly hindered by True Focus being spammed everywhere on Alliance War, mini-boss section, stuff like that. But I did end up using, actually, Mr. Negative in War anyways. That was on Ebb and Flow intercept nodes, where he was just casually, safely intercepting like Mojo and a whole bunch of other champions. It was a very good fight. I think I used him against Nihilus and Mojo, and it was working perfectly. But yeah, he definitely is suffering from True Focus spam, so hopefully that goes away soon enough. When it comes to skill, I don't think there's major change in skill. I have moved down Crossbones. Oh, I just remembered. I did that a while ago. I moved down Crossbones from meta to useful, because I personally still have a lot of faith in Crossbones. I did take mine up as well to rank 2, but I can't deny the fact that you don't really see Crossbones anywhere. Don't really get many people talking about how Crossbones is smashing this quest, that quest, and stuff like that. And purely on that, basically, I don't want to kind of like overvalue him. I like the champion. I think he's capable of a ton of great things. But this list is a mixture of my views with the current game trends. And unfortunately, I just don't see too much love for Crossbones. So he still remains in this larger category of useful champions. And then when it comes to tech champions, what's changed? We have 6-star Starkenhand Spider-Man now that has graduated from the champion list where, you know, not available as 6 stars to having him available as 6-star now. Other than that, I do not think I made any changes to the list. And then I don't think there's much need to discuss in detail every single champion that's down here. I can say that maybe I am being a bit harsh. Maybe I am being a bit harsh on Purgatory and America Chavez, which are the some of the 2 latest Mystic champions. But I just think both of them are awful. I really do. I see absolutely no reason why you would really want to invest your resources in America Chavez or Purgatory over even champions like Man-Thing and Mangog and Dormammu and Ebony Maw and definitely any of these ones. Oh yeah, I'm just gonna drop them down there. Somebody can tell me how much they like America Chavez or Purgatory, and if they make a good case, I have no problems pushing them up. But I think it is quite indicative of the current champion power level being released, and I generally don't feel bad about putting those champions here because I think they are borderline unplayable, insignificant, or absolutely useless. I don't think anybody is gonna be getting much return should they choose to rank up America Chavez and Purgatory, aside from just having fun with them. What else we have? Overseer here. I think for now I'm gonna put him in occasionally useful. I do think that there is some promise in the guy. I do personally hope to find some good things about him, but I just don't think he's as good as, let's say, Luke Cage or Red Guardian or Mr. Negative. For now, anyways. Hopefully that shifts. Ronin's buff did absolutely nothing for him, so he's still living where he was. And I think that is it for most part. I think we have covered pretty much everything. If I have missed something or mixed something up, let me know in comment section. But yeah, so this is the KT1 tier list updated. We have top of the game, actual meta, and still super useful champions, and then we have more of a, you know, player's preference, but no real recommendation. That's it for now, though. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys soon. See ya. Hello there, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information